Come here, come here. It's day 2 of Lent. Hi everyone, welcome to day 2 of Lent. We're in Matthew chapter 4. We're talking about how Jesus was tempted for 40 days and 40 nights because Lent is based on the 40 days and 40 nights that Jesus was tempted. So, day 2, we're still in verse 1. I said yesterday that Jesus was led, which means to be in subordination, by the Holy Spirit. And where was he led? Into the wilderness. Now, we often think of the word wilderness as desert, as a barren place and a hard place to be. But actually, back then, the word wilderness, this word was used for an expanse of land where shepherds would take their sheep to feed them. So, although some of the wilderness was barren, not all of it was barren. Some of it was very, very fertile and fruitful. What the point is, though, is that Jesus was led outside of the city and social circles. He was led into a place of solitude. Whether the wilderness was barren or whether the wilderness was fruitful, the wilderness was always peaceful. The wilderness was always a place of solitude. Shepherds would go on their own. Society stayed in the city. This place was a place left on its own to be there for the shepherds. It hadn't been built on yet. You get what I mean. So in Lent, we want to come alone. If we're following Jesus' journey and we want to get the rewards that Jesus got, we want to be alone. God is calling us to a 46-day period where we take time to focus on just our relationship with him. There's another place in the Bible where this word is used, although in a different language, and that's Hosea. And it's chapter 2 and verse 14. I've got it on the tablet here. Let me read it to you. Therefore, I am going to allure her. I will lead her into the wilderness and speak tenderly to her. The wilderness is not meant to be only a barren place. Lent is not meant to be a hard journey. It's a time when we give of ourselves and maybe give something up. That can be hard. But it's a time when we're meant to be fed and grow. And we're meant to be fed spiritually, but personally, in our alone personal journey with God. So today, your task is to take those things that you remember writing out yesterday, the ashes that you burnt, and pray over each one now individually, committing them to God and you, and ask that he will speak to you on every one personally. Make a plan of how you can set time aside to spend with him. Now, you might say to me, but Emily, I've got kids and I've got work. And okay, spend the time when you're driving. Spend the time when you're sitting, watching TV. Do you know, you might have to watch TV with your family. And if you don't have to watch TV with your family, then there you go, there's time. But if you have to do everything with your family, let me tell you what Jesus says in Matthew 6. He says, when you pray, go into your closet, which actually means inner being, inner place. That's what it means, inner place. Shut the door, which means shut out every other opportunity, and pray to your Father who sees in secret. And there's the word again, secret place, sees in secret, inner. It means who sees inwardly. Pray to the one who sees inwardly, and your Father who sees you inwardly, who sees your inner man, will reward you. But in that verse, the word actually in the Greek is restore. So it's not I get lots of rewards for praying quietly in a room somewhere to God. Absolutely not. It's that as I spend time with God, he restores my inner being. That's the reward, restoration of who I am. So bring those ashes and say, even if I'm in a room full of people, I am going to focus my heart on you, Lord. And I'm going to be saying, Holy Spirit, speak to me. Holy Spirit, lead me. Holy Spirit, guide me and show me the places where at the moment I have a stronghold in my mind. You know, in our minds we have habitual thoughts. The Bible calls these strongholds. And he actually says in the Bible that the enemy, the evil one, can take hold of these strongholds in our minds. Do you know, the most horriblest plans have actually been created in the thoughts of man. The worst things that have happened on earth have originated somewhere. The thoughts. These places are strongholds. They start when we start to have thoughts about other people that are outside of God's character. God is love. He is goodness. He is peace. It doesn't mean the people that you're thinking about are. He is. And he wants us to have a mind of Christ. But when we have habitual thoughts that perhaps we don't even see, that are not of his character, then we end up being influenced by those thoughts, and the evil one can attach himself to them. He can even give us these thoughts or suggest these thoughts to us, as we're going to see throughout our journey of Lent. So get alone with him. Be led into the wilderness and expect it to be a fruitful place. Expect it, instead of it being a dry place, expect it to be somewhere where you're going to be fed. But you're going to be fed such good food from God that you're going to notice all these other thoughts that are not from him, and you're going to get them sorted out during this period of Lent. So day 2 is get alone, make a plan, make it a habit. Let's do it every day. This is a personal journey because he wants to change my life and your life, and he wants it to be a reality. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow.